Welcome everyone to the GM Podcast. I am your host, Manuel, once again, here with some good, knowledgeable not feedback, but just things that we go on a daily. Today we wanted to talk about the yes men in our life and the dangers behind it. Fill them in, partner.
What's up, everybody? We hope you guys had a great weekend. We're coming out of the Cinco de Mayo weekend. Shout out to my mom. Happy birthday. Yes, we are going to talk about the yes man or the yes women in your life. If this is the first time you've ever heard of this term, for me, what it means is a person in your life. It could be a friend or it could be a relative who always agrees with you. It doesn't matter what you do. I think I've seen this in my life. I've seen this done to other people where it's very annoying. The person could be wrong, and the yes man or the yes woman in their life it doesn't matter what they do, they always agree. I think that's dangerous. In my opinion, like I said, we just speak out of our own experiences. I think that's a really bad thing if you have people around you like that, because what's happening is that when are they going to tell you you're wrong? When are they going to tell you that you're slacking off? Or when are they going to tell you that you're being inconsiderate? Because everything you do is good. Right. Nothing that you do is bad. And therefore, are they really even a real friends? Because I wouldn't want to have a friend like that. Like, if I was screwing up, I would hope that you would tell me. Yeah. And I would hope that if I was doing something that was either hurtful to somebody else or to myself, that you would say, hey, you know what, you're screwing up, you're fucking up. So yes man, yes women, I believe to be dangerous people, because they're not really looking out for your best interest. What do you think, partner?
Yeah, and I'm not agreeing with you just to agree with you.
Wow.
I think we have come to disagreements where we come to an agreement at the end. And that's the difference between a yes man and a person that's trying to get their things done on a daily. So if you have these people that are always telling you, knowing that you're screwing up, yes, it's a good thing to do. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm gonna jump off this cliff. Are you gonna do it with me or what?
They're like, no, you go by yourself.
Yeah, you go by yourself first. Let me know how it goes. But see, those are the dangers behind it. And the thing is that, okay, for instance, I expect you to tell me if my rig is acting strange, or if I tell you, hey, do you think this sounds right? And you say yes, and I know that it doesn't, I'm going to continue operating it. Hey, man, we're in for some failure, So it all weighs itself out. Obviously, a lot of people can't see the dangers right before it happens. But these are the things that bite us in the ass. These are the things that we need to address right away and hopefully nip it in the bud, right?
Yeah, I believe that if you have a person you call a friend, and, at the end of the day, we always want somebody who really loves us, genuinely cares about us. And if you have an enabler, because I believe they kind of operate like an enabler. An enabler provides you with the things, like with the answers. They provide you with what makes you weak. For instance, drug users. If you have an enabler, it's a person who can't say no to you. They give you the money even though they know you're going to spend it on drugs, or they take you to the places to go buy your drugs. That's an enabler. So if we have enablers in our lives, we really need to be careful, because it's great. Nobody wants to be wrong. I don't want to be corrected. But does that mean that I don't mess up? Of course not. I mess up all the time. And especially if it's something detrimental to my career or to myself or to my health or to others, I want my friend or my relatives, whoever is around me, to tell me the truth. Like, hey, you know what, Gabby, you're screwing up. Or, hey, you know what, I don't like this because of that. Like I said, I've seen this way too many times. I wouldn't say too many times, but I have a couple people that stand out in my head being yes men and yes women. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying because let's say person A, first of all, let's say person A is a narcissist, okay? Person A is a narcissist. Person B is a yes man. So person A goes along as his or her business, destroying others or saying things that shouldn't be said, just being their narcissist self. And when somebody tries to point out the facts to person A, what does person A do? They go to person B and says, hey dude, am I fucking up? And then person B says, no, you're good. What are they talking about? It's and you're like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? So
even you know your own bullshit.
Yeah, of course. And see, that's the thing, that we know when we're screwing up. We know it. We just don't want to be told.
Well, maybe at the end of the day, that guy probably just wants to fit in.
Yes men and yes woman, that's exactly it. They want to be kiss ass people. They want to fit in. They want to have friends. Who doesn't want to have a friend? But it's like, being real is better than being fake, in my opinion, 10 times all the time. So I would hate to have yes men and yes women in my life, because that only shows me they're not really looking out for my best interest. They're looking out for their best interest, because everything is agreeable. And if you're living in a real life situation, not everything is perfect. And so there you go. Those are the dangers in my eyes of a yes man or a yes woman.
Right. I tell you guys a little story. My ex-boss, I really wanted to fit in with this guy, and I would tell him yes a lot of the time. A lot of the times he would be wrong, but I wouldn't tell him, At the end of the day, he was my boss, and I felt like he was a good friend to me. So there was a lot of things that I would agree with him. I wouldn't per se he would be wrong most of the time, but there was just some of the things that I should have stepped away and maybe have said no.
Why did you not tell him the truth?
I felt like he was my only friend at the time.
Yeah.
And I felt like I just needed that comfort. I needed the acceptance. I was seeking that, honestly. But at the end of the day, it just made me belittle myself.
Yeah.
And it kind of hurts. It rubs your ego, and it just like it keeps deteriorating yourself. You're like, why did you say that?
Yeah. Or why did I agree with that?
Right. Yeah. And then the next day you're trying to cover it up, the best way you can, but there's only so much you could do. So, yeah, I've had my fair shares, and unfortunately it's led me to believe otherwise, but now I know better. And luckily for you, partner, like I've always been honest with you, and I've like I told you, or like I said before, we've come to disagreements, but we always meet at the end. We always weigh out our options, and if you tell me no, or if I tell you no, it's not to be mad at you, or it's not to throw in the towel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's not to be negative. And I've been very honest with you too, and this is something new that I've been practicing, and I've been very open with you. Like before, I think I was a yes woman back in the day also, because I think I kind of went through the same situation you did, where you were kind of seeking validation in a way. You kind of wanted people to like you, and I think we've all maybe have fallen victim of that, because I have. The new and improved Gabby doesn't do that no more.
Right.
I could care less who likes me and who doesn't like me. I know that I'm trying to be the best that I can. That's for one.
Right.
I'm not walking around like a narcissist trying to damage people and thinking that I know everything, because I don't. If anybody comes across me, they're always going to get the real me, right? But I think everybody has kind of gone through that before, where it's like, okay, I agree with you because I hope they like me, or I agree with you. But
you feel some type of intimidation.
yeah, exactly. You kind of do feel intimidated. However, I've been on the other side of the spectrum, where somebody was kind of damaging me, and the person that I was encountering was always right, never did anything wrong, and it didn't help that they had a yes man in the corner. So anytime I would try to point out, hey, this is what's going on, this and that, the yes man would be like, no, I agree with. It's like, dude, you know in your heart you don't agree with them. Stop bullshitting. But as far as you and I are concerned, what I was trying to say is that what I've been trying to practice is that when something is bothering me, in the instant it's bothering me, I might not bring it up right away, because sometimes you gotta like calm yourself and think about what you want to say or how you want to express it. But when you notice that something's wrong with me, like, hey, are you all right? I'll straight up be like, no, I'm not all right. Here, sit down, let's talk about it. But that's my new approach, because when you leave things bottled up, or when you agree, or let's say I'm always telling you, no, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And then one day I just blow up on you. You're going to be like, what the hell? You've been telling me you've been okay this whole time. Yeah. So that's not fair. That's not fair to you or anybody else I encounter who I care about. So that's something new that I'm practicing. But I don't ever want to be a yes man or a yes woman. First of all, you're a joke. People around you know that you're a yes man and that you're a yes woman and you're a kiss ass. Right. They know it. So why would anybody want to be that? I don't think subconsciously, though, I don't think they realize how they look. I think they just feel like, okay, this person's my friend, supposedly. I'm just gonna look at celebrities. Right. The yes man and the yes woman around them has caused so many tragic failures in celebrities, drug overdoses in celebrities, because they have these people around them, then everything's yes, give him what he wants, give her what she wants. Don't say no to her, don't say no to him. Look at how many celebrities we hear about that they like spiral out of control, because what happened was the people that really care about them, since they say no, they get pushed out. Because
or they build some type of respect for them. Well, and in this situation, since being a celebrity or a high roller, you know, you're gonna expect people to tell you yes. Give them the drugs.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. When you're up here, like if you're up here in success, if you're up here in fame, popularity, whatever it is, you think your shit don't stink, right? That's why they say humility is the best part of success. If you're humble, then you're going to always be a student to life, a student to your business. But if you're up here, you think your shit don't stink, you don't want nobody telling. The audacity of somebody says no to you, right? So I think when people say no to you, you know, if you're up here, you got the power, you got the money, you start pushing people out, because what you want around you is people who are going to obey you. People who are going to be under your command. And so the person who is real now becomes a danger to their lifestyle, right? Like the moms get pushed out because, you know, our moms are always like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You know, they get pushed out of their lives, the husbands, the wives, the people who really care about this person, because now they got the power and control to be like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do.
Right. Yeah, that's a perfect example. I would, if you guys are a yes man, I think these are two different subjects, or scenarios, I should say. You know, when you're at work, or when you're being a yes man with your friends or your buddies or whoever, you know, that a yes man at work, I think it's completely different. Okay, you're doing your job. You have to get certain things done, and that's for me. It could only go so far. Obviously, you're gonna do the work your way, but you're not gonna tell your boss, no, you can't get it done. So, but yeah, those are the characteristics that we should also portray when we're dealing with our friends. You know, if there's things that you could do, if you can have a relationship, a good friendship with somebody, and tell them no at the same time, also get the job done to where you guys are both respected, then that's how a yes man should be portrayed. That's the way I see it now, and I'm not gonna go into another friendship, you know, wishy-washy and like trying to make him like me. Nah, fuck that. It doesn't work that way anymore, you know. And for me to actually like bow down to these people now is just like I don't have any interest in that whatsoever. And it's good to develop these no sayers. It's good to say at a young age, you know, no, that's not for me.
Oh, you're not gonna get that.
Right. You know, it's perfectly fine to tell people no. And if you practice it, you're gonna practice it in a way where you're not gonna come off as a dick. You're gonna be like, you know, I have some other things to do.
Exactly.
You know, it's not for me. Period. And saying no is a good way to get where you want in life, and it's also a good stand-up form. You know, you standing up for yourself. You're standing up for something that you believe in, right?
Yeah, that's actually very accurate. I used to have a very hard time. I still kind of do sometimes. Like if somebody will ask me for a favor, it's really hard for me to say no. I still struggle with that. I feel like if I say no, I'm going to come off as like a jerk, not wanting to help somebody out. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes I really just don't want to do it, or I don't have time to do it. But you know, when somebody says, "Hey, can you help me with this?" You really want to say no sometimes, and yes comes out of your mouth, like a forced yes. So I'm still struggling with that when people ask me for favors. But you're right though, saying no is healthy. Also, you don't always have to say yes. I'm starting to feel like that. I don't always have to say yes to people. I don't always have to live the way people want me to live or say the things that that they want me to say. Like, I am who I am, and I'm finding myself very authentic, and I absolutely love it. So for me, yes man, yes woman, I want to cut that out of myself because I still have a little bit of me of that. The whole opinions, like people who think of me, of whatever goes on in their head, I really don't care. Like, I really don't care. Opinions don't even matter to me anymore like they used to. But sometimes I do want to say no to people, and I find myself feeling bad when someone asks me for something, a favor, money. I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. So I really want to implement that when I genuinely want to do it, I will say yes.
Right.
And when I really don't want to, or I don't have time for it, that I could confidently say no. So, hey, that's great. Like, I'm glad we're having this conversation, because I think even as we speak, we could see where we're going wrong in our own lives. But it doesn't mean that you're a jerk or anything like that if you don't want to help somebody out. You know what I'm saying? But
how about this one? You say yes a lot, you start to get taken advantage of.
Oh yeah.
You know,
that comes with being a yes man.
There you go. If you're a yes man and you're being taken advantage of, you only have yourself to blame.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
So, like I said, keep practicing saying these no's. Hey partner, I need to move out. Can you help me out?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I'll help you out. No,
Damn.
no.
What did we just talk about?
Hey, but I genuinely want to help you out.
I know you do.
All right. But also, too, I think now that we're on the subject, you just made a point. This happens even when you're in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. How many times do we like not want to do something, or we want to do something, but we're so afraid to speak up? And so we end up doing what our significant other is forcing us to do, when we could straight up say, you know what, go ahead without me. I respect your hobby. I respect your family. I respect whatever. But in this situation, I just don't feel like going. Like, there's ways of saying no, or boundaries. For instance, if a guy or a female is asking you to do something that normally isn't, you're not really into, or you don't really like to do, and we just say yes to please them, now we're doing something out of force.
Yeah.
So it's first of all, whatever it is that we're talking about, it doesn't have to be sexual. But whatever it is that we're talking about, now you're doing something that is forced, and it's not the same as when you're doing something out of your heart. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do for you. Or, yes, I will agree to that. So I think that's in any situation. Or how about our parents? Our parents say yes to us all the time, and then we hear that they're complaining about helping us out. Like, we know that our parents have their limits also, but sometimes because they say yes all the time, that we don't realize that we're probably taking them for granted, or that we're overstepping our boundaries. So they say yes to us all the time, to our face, and then we hear from our brothers and sisters that they're actually annoyed. Right. It's like, you see where yes leads to all the time?
Yeah. It leads to nothing. No, man, there's a point in time for you to say yes. Yeah. And there's also a point in time for you to say no. Yeah. So always practice what you want your life to be. And it's okay to do it. Like I said before, it's okay to do these things. It's okay to practice these things, because no one's going to teach you how to do it. Yep. No one's ever going to teach you how to tell people no. And I think that about wraps it up, partner. What do you think?
Yeah, bottom line, it's all about honesty. I mean, being a yes man or a yes woman, it's really about honesty. Be honest. If you don't want to do it, be honest. If your friend is fucking up, be honest. If somebody's taking advantage of you or somebody else, be honest. So I think ultimately, if we really go like all full spectrum, we're really talking about honesty here. Yeah. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult to say the truth. Does it hurt? Yeah, sometimes the truth does hurt. But would you rather be taken advantage of and being looked at as a naive person and being lied to because you can't handle the truth, or because they're afraid to tell you the truth? No.
Being a docile person.
Yeah, or being docile, being stepped all over. Like, no, you know what? It's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to stand up for your friend. It's okay to tell your friend you're fucking up. And if your friend gets mad at you for saying, hey, you know what, you're fucking up. If they get mad at you and stop talking to you because you said no to them, then guess what? They weren't really your friend to begin with. So we eliminate a lot of BS in our lives. We eliminate a lot of drama in our lives simply by being honest. Honest. You will, like I said, don't be afraid of losing people, because if they're going to stop talking to you over the truth, like real truth. I'm not talking about you being a jerk to them and you just want to say things to them to irritate them. No, if you're speaking the truth and somebody gets mad at you over it and they stop talking to you over it, so be it. I think this is a little off the subject right now, but a lot of truth has been coming out since the pandemic, the inflation, and look at how many people stop talking to themselves, to each other. It's ridiculous. It's elementary. People can't handle the truth, and Jack Nicholson said it best, right? Yeah. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah,
but
we need to see him more often.
Yeah, we need a lot more people like him. But I mean, honestly though, like, all jokes aside, it's like, it's basically simple honesty. Stop being a yes man, stop being a yes woman, because all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're becoming a pushover, and you're hurting the person that you supposedly love by lying to their faces.
There you guys go. You've heard it from the best, and we will continue talking these facts to you guys. We have more subjects coming up. Stay tuned for some more GM podcasts. Peace and love, you guys, and respect yourself at all costs.
Woohoo!
Peace.